today I'm going to be sharing with you all the books I read in May because I didn't do a proper wrap-up because I kind of disappeared off the face of the earth because of my summer classes. I'm going to be talking about the books that I also wanted to read in June. Some of these I already have finished, but I won't be giving my review until my June wrap-up because the month isn't over. We have like 5 days left and I think I can finish at least a book during that time, so I won't be giving my wrap-up yet. May was Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, so Cindy from With Cindy hosted the Asian Readathon. I participated and I read 2 books, and I completed the readathon just by reading the 2 books because I combined all the prompts. I don't remember what the prompts are, but I know that I finished it. First, I read If They Come For Us. I forgot what the author's name was, but I will include it right here. It was a poetry book. It was very real and very eye-opening, and I don't think I got enough out of it than I would have if I analyzed it like in a class or something. I would have loved to read this with other people and to discuss it with other people because I don't think I understood everything. So because of that, I didn't give it a rating because I didn't want to tarnish the work of art that it is, because I know that there's more that I could have gotten out of it if people just explained it to me, but I'm just not intellectually there, so I just didn't give it a rating. The next book I read for the readathon, and the last book I read for the readathon, was Parachutes by Kelly Yang, one of my new all-time favorite books. I absolutely love this book so much. If you haven't seen my reading vlog about this, please go watch it because I pretty much give all my thoughts about this book there. And I kind of don't want to be repetitive on my channel, so you guys can just go watch that video. I'll probably card it if I remember. Again, love this book, love Kelly Yang. Next time she releases a book, I will definitely be reading it. And I rated Parachutes 5 stars. Now these books I read just because. The first one was One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This was actually the first book I finished in the month of May, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was anything that memorable, so I didn't give it a 5 stars. I gave it a 4 just because I really loved the friendships and the relationships that formed out of the 4 kids' common struggle and their common issue. I kind of saw the ending coming, so that's another reason why I docked off a star. I just didn't feel surprised, but the way everything went down was kind of insane. But again, I really enjoyed this book. I would recommend you to read it just for the fun of it, but it's nothing that memorable. Like, I already forgot some stuff that happened. The next book I read was the Fae Folk Book Club book pick of the month. I can't speak, but it is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I really surprisingly enjoyed this book. I was not planning on reading it or participating that month. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and the main character has cerebral palsy, so there's some cerebral palsy rep in this book too. I'm getting tongue-tied so much today. The main character is from Washington DC, and she gets taken to this land called Emberfall. It's like another dimension or something like that, and she's taken to this universe to basically be the Belle in the Beauty and the Beast story. I forgot to mention that there's a lot of political conflict in this book, which I was not expecting, but it added a lot to the book that I really appreciated and I enjoyed reading. It kind of reminded me of the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Usually when you read fantasy stuff, you don't really get much of the political side of it. I've heard that The Cruel Prince is kind of like that too. We'll see if I like that one. But yeah, I really liked the political aspect of the book. I found myself reading ahead when I wasn't supposed to, because for the Fae Folk Book Club, you split up the book evenly throughout the whole month so that you can talk about it. I rated this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I read this for Melissa Dimmer's book club. I don't know if she has a specific name for it. I'm just gonna call it Melissa's book club. I read this in less than 24 hours. It was so fast-paced. I got through it so quickly, and I think I'm gonna pick up the second one, but I want to read a couple more books on my TBR shelves first before buying new books because It's a problem. It's bad. So we're not gonna buy the second one. Want to read a couple more books on my TBR shelves first, so we're not gonna buy the second one. I kind of saw it coming because I was getting vibes from the killer, but then you get vibes from a lot of people in this book. But there is a twist that I didn't see coming. So it was predictable but not predictable. So I'm glad that this book surprised me and I really could not put it down. And this book I rated a 4.5 out of 5 stars, I'm pretty sure. If not, I'll correct it on the screen. Sorry, my camera died. Anyway, the last book I read in May was Normal People by Sally Rooney. And I was surprisingly disappointed. I thought I would have liked it because I'm not that much of a critical reader. I like reading just for fun. But I, for the life of me, could not get through this. I stopped on page 159. I tried to read it physically and I ended up giving up because there were no quotation marks and it really bugged me. And then I said, okay, you know what? I'll try the audiobook. Tried the audiobook, bored out of my mind. I watched someone else's reading vlog where they read Normal People. Her name is Sydney Page Books and she's a relatively newer booktuber, but she did a reading vlog where she read Normal People and she said that she was very disappointed by the ending and just how it all went down, what happened with the characters, stuff like that. But she even enjoyed the first part of the book and I didn't even enjoy the first part of the book. So I figured that if I even finish the book, I probably will hate the ending. So I will be keeping this book though, just because it's such a staple and I can lend it out to other people who might want to read it. But it just wasn't for me. I rated it 1 star. I really didn't like this book. I liked Marianne. Connell was very boring. Hated how Connell treated her. I didn't feel as attached to the characters as I could have been. Now I'm going to talk about the books that I want to read or we're planning on reading in June, because it's already June 25th, like I said, so it doesn't even matter. I have 6 books on this list. I will tell you which ones I have read because you can see it on my Instagram and on my Goodreads, but I'm not going to be giving my review just because I'm saving that for my June wrap-up video. The first one is Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. This was a cute love story, but also coming of age story. It was very much a finding yourself story for the main character. I loved the Asian representation in this book. The next book I planned to read in June was A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. As I said, I really liked the first book, so I wanted to start the second book. I low-key want to start the third one, however, it has so many bad reviews on Goodreads. So I don't think I'm gonna continue on just because I'm scared and I want to be able to appreciate these books for what they are, and I will think of them as a duology. I will pretend the third one does not exist, because that's what a lot of people who have read the third one are saying to do. Gray was my favorite character from the first book. Getting to read his point of view is great. Leah Mara is cool. I don't want to get into it too much because spoilers! The next book is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. This was the June pick for Melissa's book club. You'll see my thoughts soon because the month is almost over. I have 3 books here that I said I want to read still, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to them just because of the little time I have, but we'll see. I probably won't. I have 5 days. That's not gonna happen. The first one is The Score by Elle Kennedy. This is the 3rd book in the Off-Campus series. I read the first 2 books in April, but I just didn't have time to get around to them in May, so I want to at least read one of the books in this series. Oh, I just read something that might have spoiled me. The next book I want to read is Paris Is Also a Good Idea by Jen McKinley. I got this in my last book haul. I found it on Libby and it was ready to be checked out. There was no wait list or anything. These romance books are like a hit or miss for me, so it just we'll see. We'll see if I like it. If you didn't watch my book haul, this is about a girl whose mother passed away of cancer and her father is getting remarried. She decides to travel all over Europe and try to rekindle lost loves, stuff like that. If I listen to it on audiobook, I think it's 10 hours, and I listen on 2x speed, so that's 5 hours. And the last book I'm probably not going to get to, but if not, it'll be my first read for July, and it is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. As I mentioned before, I'm trying to read more classics. I actually ended up reading the first chapter when I went to the beach the other day, and it wasn't bad. I thought I was not going to be able to understand anything, because that's usually how classics go for me. Maybe once I read a bunch more classics, I'll kind of get used to the language and maybe try out Pride and Prejudice, because I know Jane Austen has a very different writing style because of the time that she wrote her books in and stuff like that. So hopefully I like Dorian Gray. It is only like 200 pages long. I probably won't finish it this month, but if I can finish it next month, I'll probably do maybe like 20 pages every day and try to get through it. That seems like a decent amount, right? So these are the books that I finished this month, and these, hold on, I can do it. Oh, wait, maybe not. Hold on. I can hold them at the same time. I know I can. So these are the books that I read this month, and these are the books that I'm planning or planned to read this month. This video is going up way too late. I apologize again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!